Imagine one evening. One of Europe's giant football clubs walks onto the pitch. Their squad is worth hundreds of millions of euros. The fans are relaxed. The manager is confident. The opponent is a small club from the north of Norway, from a city many people could barely find on a map. But when the match begins, something strange happens. The players of that giant club start to panic. Passes become sloppy, the defense begins to fall apart, and the yellow shirts just keep running. That's the moment when everyone starts asking the same question. How does Bodø Glimt keep doing this? Because just a few years ago, no one in European football took Bodø Glimt seriously. A team from a small city just below the Arctic Circle in northern Norway was seen as nothing more than a regular domestic league club. But today, everything has changed. Now many European teams are nervous when they draw Bodø Glimt, because when this team steps onto the pitch, anything can happen. To understand this story, you first need to look at Norwegian football. Norway's top league, the Eliteserien, is not one of the richest leagues in Europe. There are no massive budgets like in the English Premier League, La Liga, or the Bundesliga, but the league has something else. Young talent, high tempo, and physically demanding football. Norwegian clubs often invest in young players who are eager to improve. Because of this, the league has become a platform for developing players who later move to bigger European leagues. In recent years, Norwegian football has been rising rapidly. Players like Erling Haaland, Martin Ødegaard, Alexander Sørloth, and Antonio Nusa have become stars across Europe. This has brought more attention to Norwegian football, but at the club level, the team that has captured the most attention is undoubtedly Bodø Glimt. For many years, Bodø Glimt was not considered one of Norway's biggest clubs. In fact, there were periods when the team even struggled with relegation. But the club made the right decisions. They invested in young players, built a modern football system, and most importantly, they found the right coach. When Kjetil Knutsen became the head coach, Bodø Glimt gained a completely new identity. Knutsen's philosophy was simple: fast football, aggressive pressing, and constant attacking. The tempo of the team's play quickly overwhelmed many opponents in the Norwegian league. Bodø Glimt soon became one of the most dominant teams in Norway. Their style of football in the Eliteserien was truly different. The ball moved quickly, the wingers were constantly making runs, and the midfield applied relentless pressure on opponents. This high tempo caused huge problems for many teams in Norway. Bodø Glimt soon began winning league titles and dominating domestically, but the real surprise came in European competitions. Many people believed that Bodø Glimt's success in Norway would not translate to Europe. After all, European clubs were stronger, richer, and more experienced. But on the pitch, things turned out very differently. Bodø Glimt delivered their first major shock in Europe against AS Roma. When Jose Mourinho's Roma arrived in Bodø, they were heavy favorites. But that night, European football witnessed an unforgettable result. Bodø Glimt defeated Roma 6-1. Roma's defense collapsed under intense pressure, and Bodø Glimt punished every mistake. That match was not just a win, it was a message to Europe. After that night, Bodø Glimt continued to impress against strong teams like Celtic, AS Alkmaar, Olympiakos, and Rangers. In many of those matches, the same pattern appeared again and again. Opponents simply could not match Bodø Glimt's tempo. When you look at Bodø Glimt's tactical system, several key elements stand out. The team usually plays in a 4-3-3 formation, but it is a very dynamic system. The wingers cut inside, the fullbacks push forward, and the midfielders constantly press while also supporting attacks. The moment they lose the ball, Bodø Glimt players immediately apply pressure. In modern football, this is often called gegenpressing. but Bodø Glimt execute it with extreme aggression. Opponents barely have time to control the ball before the pressure arrives. This pressing system causes huge problems for many European teams. Big clubs usually prefer to control possession and dictate the tempo, but Bodø Glimt refuses to allow that. Instead, they try to win the ball high up the pitch and attack immediately. Another crucial factor is Bodø Glimt's speed in transition. Once they recover the ball, they can reach the opponent's penalty area within just a few passes. Their wingers are incredibly fast, and their forwards are excellent at attacking open space. Many European teams were simply unprepared for this style of transition football. Teams that played with a high defensive line often found themselves exposed against Bodø Glimt's quick counterattacks. Aspmyra Stadium has also become one of Bodø Glimt's biggest advantages. Located in the north of Norway, the stadium often presents extremely difficult weather conditions. Cold temperatures, strong winds, and sometimes even snow. Teams from southern Europe are simply not used to playing in these conditions. But Bodø Glimt players are perfectly comfortable in that environment. When matches are played at Aspmyra, the tempo becomes even more intense. The fans are very close to the pitch, creating an intense atmosphere that puts additional pressure on visiting teams. Many big European clubs have struggled in this stadium. Their passing rhythm breaks down, defensive mistakes increase, and Bodø Glimt takes full advantage of those moments. The club's transfer strategy has also played a major role in their success. Instead of spending huge amounts on famous players, Bodø Glimt focuses on developing talent. Young players join the club, adapt to the system quickly, and improve within the team structure. Players like Patrick Berg provide control and intelligence in midfield. The wingers constantly make runs, stretching opposing defenses, and the forwards are always ready to attack the space behind defenders. All of these elements combined make Bodø Glimt one of the most dangerous teams in European competition, because when they step onto the pitch, the size of the opponent does not matter. They simply play their own game. And that is exactly why many European clubs would prefer to avoid facing them. Because when Bodø Glimt plays, everything can change in a moment. One press, one fast counterattack, one defensive mistake, and Bodø Glimt is always ready to punish it. The Norwegian league may not be the richest in Europe, but Bodø Glimt has proven that a team from this league can compete on the European stage. They have shown that success does not always depend on massive budgets. Today, many managers across Europe carefully analyze Bodø Glimt because everyone knows that this team can create serious problems for even the strongest opponents. And perhaps the most fascinating part is this: Bodø Glimt is still improving. Their story is far from finished. From a small city just below the Arctic Circle, this yellow storm continues to surprise European football. And for many of Europe's biggest clubs, Bodø Glimt is no longer just another opponent. Sometimes they are a surprise, sometimes they are a nightmare. But most of the time, they are simply a very big problem for Europe's giants. On the Legacy of Eliteserien channel, we will continue exploring the most fascinating stories in Norwegian football. Here you will find deep analysis about Bodø Glimt's rise in Europe, the growth of the Eliteserien, and the players shaping the future of Norwegian football. If you are interested in the Norwegian League, European football underdogs, and modern football tactics, you are in the right place. Legacy of Eliteserien brings you unique football documentaries explaining how clubs like Bodø Glimt challenge Europe's biggest teams. On this channel, you will discover the rise of Norwegian football, the stories of young talents, and the hidden narratives behind major European matches. Every video explores how Eliteserien clubs are developing and leaving their mark on European football. If you enjoy stories about clubs like Bodø, Glimt, Viking, Molde, and Rosenborg, make sure to subscribe. Legacy of Eliteserien is dedicated to real football fans who want to understand Norwegian football more deeply. And remember, new stories in European football are always being written, and Legacy of Eliteserien will be there to tell them.